do it, son. That's not really necessary.
Hey friends, oh, we are very much getting a roof on to this shed. We've got all the plywood on and all the black paper up there. Metal will come next. Now in the background for about 1 full minute, you're going to see a little short rerun of all the stages we've gone through up to this point. And I'm leaving that in there just in case that you're new to my channel, or you just happen to be a viewer of my channel, but you haven't been watching the Shed series. My daughter Olivia, her husband Ryan, and their new baby Isaac Cade have moved in with us, and to make room for them in my house, I wanted a place to put all the furniture for about 3 or 4 rooms worth of space that we vacated for them. I do have a big house. Well, it's a house with a lot of bedrooms, but the living spaces are divided up and not as large as you would think for a house that's you know, a good moderate sized house. Well, I do have plans to have a fabulous wall full of shelves, which I have nicknamed my Great Wall of Rubbermaid. And because Rubbermaid is not attractive, I mean, I have dishes and I have things that I plan to use and you know, rotate out. It's all my seasonal decor, and I've got stuff in my attic and all that, of course. But I wanted a place to, you know, to be able to have access to them more easily than having to go up in my attic, which my attic needs an overhaul. It really does. It's so stuffed with Christmas. Attic is mostly just a Christmas zone. But I thought, well, okay, I'll put curtains in front of them. But then I decided I would definitely use some lighter weight quilts, or maybe just a quilt top with possibly a lining behind it. You know, a heavy quilt with batting wouldn't be suitable for this use, because I do want to be able to scoot them aside. I do have a sink, a vintage double wash tub that is an actual authentic, I don't know how old this thing might be. Like, my mother got married in 1955 and she had one, and she says the one I have is older than the one she had in 1955, so I think it's pretty old. I have chosen paint colors based on some Pinterest inspiration that I found. Truffle and biscotti were my first choices for color, but I ended up going with Turkish coffee, which out of all those colors, you know, that's the Turkish coffee. It's got a green tint to it, and I wouldn't have guessed that based on the little card, you know, the little swatch thing that you pick out, the chip, that's what you call it, the color chip. I just wouldn't have guessed it. That's what truffle looked like, which was just a dark gray, and that's what the Turkish coffee looks like, and that's what we're going to go with. We bought a 5-gallon bucket of it. We also bought a 5-gallon bucket of primer, Kiehl's primer, that was tinted just a medium gray. That's as dark as they said it would go. I feel like it could have gone darker, but that's as dark as they would do it. And then my accent colors are this deep coral rust cedar looking color. It turned out coral when I used red maple, because I was covering up some originally burgundy doors, but I used brown antique wax over it to give it that deeper look. And then for the other doors I used smoked paprika. All right, as I said, I had 3 or 4 rooms worth of furniture to at first I just thought we were going to be using this shed as a storage shed, and then I realized that the only thing keeping it from being fabulous from the very start would be if I just filled it up with junk and was not intentional about it. So I said, oh, this is so much work and so much expense. I'm going to figure out where all this furniture can go, and we can actually use this as family living space. Now, as for the lighting, this is a pretty good size structure, so we'll need several different things. This lower part under the loft, to the left and to the right, I'm going to use some ceiling lights here that my brother-in-law and sister-in-law gave us. There's 4 of those. They just built a house. These were left over, but I'm going to turn them into that. Is that amazing or what? And that will be, now that's just a DIY Pinterest image of how someone else did it. Oh, I'll figure it out. But what will happen is I'll have to I want it to be the exposed rafters under there for real. But in order to put a ceiling light, we're going to have to maybe fill one section between that beam and the wall. We'll have to put some kind of ceiling there, just wood. And I just liked those. The rusty, chippy looking one. And this here, that's an actual manufactured thing. I love it. Not that I know where I'm going to use it. This chandelier I had already, and I do plan to use it in the loft, and I did a little Photoshop image to see how that would look. I'll have to use it back against the wall so guys won't bump their heads on it. Parrot Uncle Company graciously sent me a fan, and we'll use it in the main space. And see how the wood beads on this fan look? Well, using those little bead things on the ceiling light fixtures, that will blend it all together. In the meantime, I did need to pick out some kind of lights to go on the front of, the outside of our building, and I found on Amazon these are dusk to dawn not motion sensor, but light sensor. And here's a very hacked up photoshopped image showing above the door and above each of the two windows, and I just photoshopped the flower boxes onto there. They're not on there yet. I did fill up some flower boxes, but they're not installed yet because it's just not time. Although I've already put the flowers in my original shed flower boxes over there. As for the loft banister, I did have some new ideas. My friend Lisa messaged me and said, hey, have you ever thought about using something like, wrought iron, or maybe even an older bed, like a bed frame kind of thing? And I was so intrigued, and we got tickled, and we both started looking all over Facebook Marketplace for it. And we came up with a few listings that might work, but I'm still not sure how to accomplish it in such a way that it would be, I haven't even mentioned this to Ben. I mean, he has no idea. In the meantime, I did find these spindles here that you're looking at now. Those were $1 a piece at the Habitat for Humanity in Huntsville. And I know that those would be, well, they'll work to be incorporated with heavier posts and boards in between. Those came from Dollar General. I've used them for shelves all over the place. Okay, Lisa and I found that listing, and that's gorgeous, but it's just one. And see, I've got like 12 feet worth of space to fill up. But look, a day bed, each end and the back, that would be 12 feet of space, but I don't know if that would work because look, the back part is not as long. All right, my local thrift store had a bed frame for $30, and it was half price, and it was 2 of these. But then when I photoshopped it up there, it just looked like a headboard and a footboard up there. Great deal, but I did not like the way that looked. When I photoshopped it, it just looked ridiculous to me. So I don't know. Now I'm back to square one because maybe I'm just a bad photoshopper. I probably am. Okay, this interior wall. This is my big wall that's going to end up being the Great Wall of Rubbermaid with the shelves. But we are planning to have this thing insulated and climate controlled. So we got to have something to cover up the insulation. Here, there is a version of lightweight outside siding that would work, or that beadboard. The beadboard would be less expensive. It's only like $20 at a place in my town that I can get that. And this week we had baby Isaac come out and spend some time on a quilt and help us get a lot of construction done. This baby is exactly 2 weeks old, and he's the spitting image of his daddy, I gotta say. And he's as adorable as any baby that's ever been born. And he holds his eyes open a lot. And he's a champion nurser. He's gained all his weight back. All babies lose just a little weight. And here we are at Pinewood Keep. Those boards, plywood boards, I just didn't imagine that one building, even though it is a good sized building, that there would be so much plywood going into this thing. I mean, sheet after sheet. Sam and Joel have been our faithful indentured servants to do all this work, and we do try to be good to them. We try to reward them and compensate them for their time, but it's pretty much compelled forced labor. They do have pretty good attitudes most of the time, and not many young men can say they've built a house, which is pretty much what they're doing. All the methods that Ben's teaching them are actual house building methods. Okay, you can see that we've got a DeWalt cordless hand saw there. What do you call that thing? Skill saw? That's what we always call the other one. But this is a DeWalt brand, and let me tell you why we had to do it. Ben's other skill saw was 30 years old, had a little bit of a fray in the cord that he was not aware of, and Ben got a real thorough buzz out of that and said, I believe we should go get a new saw. And so we did. But 30 years is a lot of good use, and he can put a new cord on it. All right, you can see here that I have bought more marigolds for window boxes on the new addition on the she shed part, and I plan to make wooden window boxes to set these plastic liners down into. But I got more Creepin' Jenny and more, I think I got sweet potato vines on this one. And if you haven't tried these are the difference. This is the difference in life and death for my flowers. When I mix these little tiny crystals, and it just takes a little bit of them, it's the same stuff that's in an absorbent, a disposable diaper or something, but it really, really makes a huge difference. And right now I have not yet mixed it in, so it looks like there's a lot, but there's not that much in there. And there are the window boxes sitting down below where the windows will the window boxes will be right above that. And the trusty scaffold has served so well. You can see that Ben and Sam and Joel have worked on the eaves and the cornices, and they don't have that thin Luan sheet of wood that covers the edges, that would keep things from coming up into our eave area. But I'm amazed. I just want to point out that my men just walk around up there with ease. And if you missed it before, I have named this shed Pinewood Keep, and I plan to make a lovely round sign with that insignia on there, maybe to use on the inside of the shed, probably not the outside of the shed. Okay, we used an underlayment that is thicker than tar paper. I'm still just calling it tar paper, but it's really thick, and someone recommended it to us that to go under the metal roofing, it would be especially effective at keeping moisture out. And we will be insulating the underside of the roof. We've got baffles, which would make a little air gap between the plywood of the roof and the insulation that's going to go up between the rafters. And then we'll have to cut ceiling panels to go in between those rafters. It's a lot more work, but I begged. And I just didn't want, even though it's a tall ceiling, I wanted that whole space to be visible, to be available. So Ben has allowed it. Now, the last place that needs the wall siding on it are the walls that are not upper right over there. It's now covered. They did get that put in. But the wall that's attached to the little shed, and there's a piece of plywood lying up in those rafters that's not there anymore. You'll see in a minute. But what I'm showing you is that when I look straight up, I'm seeing a solid wood roof up there. The metal roof will be the cherry on top when we get that up there too. But I'm just marveling, and I'm amazed, and I'm excited that all this is coming to pass. It's happening right before our very eyes. So excited. Ben did take his extremely high-powered blower and blew out all the pine straw and all the pine cones and little bits of things. We're also going to have to take a strong magnet and pick up all the nails. He has such a thing. It's a big old thing that you drag across the ground and pick up all the nails with. Yeah, that's been covered now. You'll see that in a few minutes. They've moved that scaffold, and they have set up ladders, and they have carried the extremely heavy pieces of that outdoor exterior wall siding. It's just so heavy. But we've just about got all that covered up, and we do still need to put the back windows in. And I still want something special for a window up in the loft. Still looking for that. Okay, he was able to utilize some pieces. Now he tested the paint sprayer out on the lower half of that big wall, and then we haven't been back to the sprayer at all yet. But it's just amazing that we're getting closer. That is the wall that's going to have all my big shelf system on it, and I am, naming it the Great Wall of Rubbermaid, just because there will be things that will be covered up by the quilts that I won't have showing. There you go. There's the clear view of all the rafters, and it will look pretty much just like that. We had to quickly get all our tools put away and come sit inside the building because the rain was coming, and that was pretty exciting to be able to sit under the roof. It's about 100% humidity in Alabama starting now in these summer months, especially when there is rain in the forecast. It's just like a sauna. It's ridiculous. And my little Margaret Ann has been on her first soccer team this spring, and she's done wonderfully. She got a goal the other day. We're really proud of this girl. She's doing lovely. And I want to thank all of you, new viewers, old viewers, all my friends. Thank you for all the sweet, encouraging words that you have for me. I love the comment section. It might take me a while to get back to you, but I do love to respond to every comment. Thank you so much.